Welcome back, friends. In this video tutorial we'll be talking about gamete intrafallopian transfer, which is a part of artificial reproductive system, and this is also called as gift or gamete intrafallopian transfer. It's actually the way of gifting a child to a couple who failed to make child in after trying of 1 year or so. Okay, so it's completely a kind of artificial process to help fertilizing egg with sperm and to get the baby. Now what happens in gamete intrafallopian transfer? Try to focus on the name pretty clearly, because it is suggesting that gamete means both of the gametes. So let me write both of the gametes. Gamete means eggs as well as sperms. Intrafallopian, that means the transfer of gamete will occur in fallopian region or inside the fallopian tube, okay, of the female reproductive system obviously, and transfer. So transfer of gametes like egg and sperm, both. So both in this case. So inside fallopian tube. So we need to transfer egg and sperm, the mixture of egg and sperm, inside the fallopian tube using, now let me write, so add those things, using laparoscopy. Laparoscope is a kind of instrument which is used for different type of operations nowadays. It is a small pipe like a thing, and at the end of it is having a camera and everything to operate, because it actually helps to operate in those regions where normal hand of surgeon won't reach. So we don't need to make any incision or cut, just enter it through the tube and it reaches the fallopian region, and there we can deliver our desired product, like in this case egg and sperm. Okay, so what happens in this case? So if I normally know, because for those individuals who generally are unable to make any baby after, or make any fertilization after almost 1 year of intercourse, and then, or sometimes they also sit for intrauterine insemination. So that is another thing we'll be talking in different video. Intrauterine insemination process, or 2-3 cycles of that process is failed to provide any baby. And in those cases we usually rely on this technique, because it's a little bit tricky technique. Now what happens in this technique is, if I draw the fallopian tube in that case, how it will look like, it looks something like this, let's say like that. And so if I draw it, it will be something. So if this is the situation of a female reproductive system, that what is going on here is that this is the fallopian tube, we all know. Now usually what we know, during the gamete zygote formation or the fertilization of the egg, it occurs in this fallopian tube. It occurs here in fallopian tube, right? This is the place where the fertilization takes place. Now the egg produced here, so eggs will produce here. This is the section for production of egg. Now due to any problem in the female reproductive system, if there is any problem in female reproductive system, it actually can reach from here. So suppose it is having some problem, so from here it actually comes down here, but then the sperm moves and fertilizes somewhere here. When it is fertilized here, after the fertilization it moves here and it just implanted in this cervical region. So it implants here, and then the development of embryo takes place here, right? So if this is the whole process, now if there is any problem, in this female reproductive system, some kind of block, some kind of congestion is there in the cervical regions, or some abnormality in the cervical regions, if it occurs in such a way, in that case, or if it is a problem for male reproductive system, or that male is unable to deliver sperm directly to the fallopian tube or fallopian lining, or if there is not enough force for the sperm to migrate or move, or it is going to die if it stays there for very small time. So if these are the problems regarding the male reproductive system, in those cases we need to force those sperm and egg placed at this particular point. Okay, so what is the process in that case? Just we generally take up this laparoscopy as a tool for doing that. So we take sperm and egg. So we take egg, not one but many egg, and we add also some sperm here, and then we take them and implant it here. So this is the implantation. So this is implantation using laparoscope. So you implant it using laparoscope in the fallopian tube directly, so that it gets everything necessary for the fertilization. Okay, so it gets everything, and the sperm fertilizes the egg after staying there for a while. So as in this case we are taking many cells, we are guaranteeing the successful fertilization. That's why we take many eggs, because usually we require only one egg to be fertilized, but as we are taking many cells, it leads to some kind of adverse effect also, because as we are having many cells, sometimes it leads to multiple fertilization, and as a result multiple babies. So multi-fertilization can take place due to this kind of thing, but we need to ensure that in this process they surely get one of the egg, at least if we take 10-12 eggs, one of the egg at least will be fertilized by the sperm, right? So for that reason we took it. Okay, so that is the way of this gamete intrafallopian transfer process. But again, this process usually not done, because if there is any problem regarding male reproductive system, usually people stick to in vitro fertilization process. So take out the sperm outside, take the egg outside, and we put them in a test tube outside, and because in this process of in vitro fertilization or IVF, it is good because we can monitor the development of fertilization, development of egg development in the artificial medium. But in this case we can't see it anything, because everything is going on to fallopian tube, everything is going on there. We may not be able to see anything, right? We don't able to see anything. So but still we can ensure that yes, as we're taking many eggs with sperm, that one of the egg at least will be fertilized, and we get the result. Okay, so that is the process of gamete intrafallopian transfer, and it is a part of artificial reproductive technology or art. Okay, so we'll be looking many more different techniques for artificial reproductive technology. This is one of it, and that is the benefit of it. But usually people not stick to. But if there is many problem consisting for many days, like for 1 or 2 years, people not able to get any baby, but the woman the system of female fertilization is completely fine, female reproductive system is fine. But if it is a problem of male reproductive system and still they are not relying on IVF, in those cases only people choose gamete intrafallopian transfer. So it is actually chosen when the male reproductive system is a kind of faulty, not the female one. Okay, so that's kind of it, and I hope that's helpful. Thank you.